You will never be angry again after listening to this. Buddhism. Anger is one of the most destructive emotions, capable of clouding our judgment, disrupting relationships, and stealing inner peace. Buddhism, with its profound wisdom, offers timeless tools to understand, manage, and ultimately transcend anger. By delving into its teachings, you can uncover the path to emotional liberation and lasting tranquility. Understanding the roots of anger. In Buddhism, anger is seen as a form of delusion that arises from ignorance. It is not an inherent quality, but rather a reaction to unmet expectations, fear, or a perceived threat. The Buddha taught that anger is like a burning ember. While it harms those it is directed at, it primarily burns the one holding it. To overcome anger, we must first understand its roots. 1. Attachment to expectations. Anger often stems from the belief that things should align with our desires. When reality diverges from our expectations, frustration and anger arise. 2. Ego and identity. The ego's need for validation can provoke anger when challenged. An insult or perceived injustice can feel like a threat to our identity. 3. Past conditioning. Our responses to situations are influenced by past experiences and unresolved emotions. Recognizing this conditioning is key to breaking free from habitual anger. Buddhist approaches to overcoming anger. Buddhism offers practical techniques to transform anger into compassion and understanding. These practices not only address the immediate emotion, but also work on dissolving the underlying causes. 1. Mindfulness, sati. Mindfulness is the cornerstone of Buddhist practice. By being present and aware, we can observe anger as it arises without becoming consumed by it. The Buddha said, "You will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger." Mindfulness allows us to create a gap between stimulus and response, giving us the power to choose a constructive reaction. 2. Meditation, bhavana. Meditation practices, such as vipassana, insight meditation, help us explore the nature of our emotions. Regular meditation cultivates inner peace and equips us to handle anger with clarity. When we meditate, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions as passing phenomena, reducing their hold over us. 3. Loving kindness, metta. One of the most transformative practices in Buddhism is metta, or loving kindness meditation. This involves cultivating feelings of goodwill and compassion towards oneself, loved ones, neutral individuals, and even adversaries. By directing kindness towards those who provoke us, we dissolve the anger and replace it with understanding. 4. Karmic perspective. Buddhism emphasizes the principle of karma. Our actions create our future experiences. Harboring anger generates negative karma, perpetuating cycles of suffering. Recognizing this, we are motivated to respond with patience and compassion, knowing that our choices shape our destiny. 5. Non-attachment, upadana. Non-attachment teaches us to let go of our clinging to desires and aversions. By understanding the impermanent nature of all things, we reduce our tendency to react with anger when faced with discomfort or loss. A powerful Buddhist parable. One of the most famous stories about anger involves the Buddha himself. One day a man approached the Buddha, filled with rage, and began hurling insults. The Buddha remained calm and did not respond. After the man had exhausted his anger, the Buddha gently asked, "If someone offers you a gift and you decline to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man replied, "It remains with the giver." The Buddha then said, "In the same way, I do not accept your anger, and it remains with you." This story teaches us the power of non-reactivity and the freedom that comes from refusing to engage with anger, whether our own or someone else's. The science of anger in Buddhist practices, modern psychology and neuroscience validate many of Buddhism's teachings on anger. Studies show that mindfulness and meditation reduce the activity of the amygdala, the brain's fear and anger center. Practicing loving-kindness meditation has been found to increase feelings of empathy and reduce hostility. By adopting these practices, you can rewire your brain and cultivate emotional resilience. Over time, the triggers that once provoked anger lose their power, and a sense of inner peace prevails. Practical steps to apply in daily life. Here are actionable steps to incorporate Buddhist wisdom into your life. Pause and breathe. When anger arises, take a few deep breaths to ground yourself. This simple act can interrupt the cycle of reactivity. Reflect on impermanence. Remind yourself that emotions, like all things, are fleeting. This perspective helps you avoid being swept away by anger. Practice gratitude. Focus on the positive aspects of your life and relationships. Gratitude counteracts negativity and fosters contentment. Seek understanding. Instead of reacting with anger, try to understand the perspective of the other person. Empathy often diffuses conflict. Commit to daily meditation. Even a few minutes of meditation each day can strengthen your ability to manage emotions effectively. Conclusion. Anger is a natural human emotion, but it need not control us. Through the teachings of Buddhism, we can transform anger into an opportunity for growth and compassion. By practicing mindfulness, meditation, and loving kindness, we cultivate a state of inner peace that remains unshaken by external circumstances. As the Buddha said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Let go of anger and embrace the freedom and joy that comes with a calm and compassionate heart.